Hi everyone, welcome to day one of the Renewing the Mind project for Overcoming Procrastination class. I'm glad to have all you guys here. I'm also going to be posting this video publicly, so if anybody isn't in that class, that would also help people down the road if they want to do a Renewing the Mind project on procrastination. Okay, so let me just tell you a little bit about how the class is going to go. This first week, we'll be working on the practical aspects of time management and procrastination. And then the next 3 weeks, we're going to be working on the renewing the mind. Okay, this is not something where I'm a super expert at it, and I'm going to show you guys how it's done. You guys know that this is something I struggle with in my own life. I'm improving and learning more and more each year, but I'm still definitely not in the expert category. But together we can go to God for help with this. So I'm really looking forward to the class. In fact, the reason I decided to teach it is because I felt like I needed help in my own life with renewing the mind. So I'm hoping you guys will help me to learn how to get control of my afternoons. That's going to be my goal for the class. So a little bit about the class. We're going to set it up where the first week we'll be talking about the practical aspects of overcoming procrastination, and then the next 3 weeks we'll be talking about the renewing the mind. So just think of it this way: if you're going to do a weight loss project, you would renew your mind whenever you broke your boundaries, but you'd also have to have boundaries, right? And with weight loss, it's pretty easy to have boundaries because you can do something like Weight Watchers, you can do hunger fullness, you can do low carb. So it's like the plans are already out there. Okay, with procrastination, we have to come up with a plan of how we're going to get our work done, and then we have to renew our mind whenever we can't make ourselves do the work. But coming up with that plan is kind of hard because we can't just go out there and say, oh, I'm going to do the Weight Watchers plan for getting things done. Whereas in Weight Watchers, that plan could work for all kinds of people in different lifestyles. Time management is really more closely geared to what your lifestyle is like. So a stay-at-home mom with little kids and a baby, she's going to have different problems managing her time than somebody who's retired and has time all the time in the world, or somebody who is working 40 hours a week. So all of us are in different situations in life. So this week I want you to try and come up with a plan that you think will work for your particular lifestyle. And there's 3 different elements to the plan, so let me give you those. The first element is we need a system to collect our to-dos. The second one is we need an overall plan. And then the third one is we need a daily plan. Okay, so let's start with the first one. A system to collect all your to-dos. Okay, you don't really have to have that to do this project, but I think it would be helpful to have for overall time management and completing of goals. Okay, when I say a system to collect all your little to-dos, I don't mean having a bunch of little sticky notes all over the house where you put do so-and-so on it and then stuck it off to the side. That's one of my problems. I have those kind of things all over the house. It might say, write a blog post on such and such, or do a podcast on such and such. And then it's just a mess, right? So that is not a good collection system for your to-dos. Okay, now I think some people might put all their to-dos in a notebook. I have been starting to put all my to-dos in the Trello app, and that's changing my life. And I wrote a post about that just this week, so it'll be October 2015. If you guys are watching this later, you can look for that post. I think it's called something like my top 2 apps for procrastination or something like that, overcoming procrastination. Anyway, you can look at that blog post if you decide you want to try the Trello app. That's an app you can use either on the internet or on a smartphone or iPad or something like that. So if you're listening to this in the computer, you could use that Trello app. Okay, but if you're going to do it in a notebook, I would still read that blog post and just follow the ideas in the blog post, but instead of putting it in the app, put it on the notebook. Okay? So one of the main reasons we need that collection system is otherwise all those thoughts of what we need to do, they're going to be staying in our heads and they're going to be stressing us out. So we want to get the thoughts out of our head onto paper so we can forget about it. Okay, so that's the first thing you need. The second thing you need is an overall plan of how are you going to attack all these to-dos, right? because you can't do all your to-dos in one day and get them all done. Be nice, right? But we can't. So I have 4 different plans that you could come up with. And you can look for other things on the internet. There might be a lot of people out there that have better ideas than I do. In fact, I'm sure there are. But I'll just give you my 4 ideas for what you could do. Okay, so overall plan. First of all, you could work off a list. So this would work really well if you're the type of person who's motivated by checking things off the list. If you can keep yourself from losing your list, this would be helpful. And I guess if you just like lists. If you're just starting out and you're not very good at time management, keep your list really short, like no more than 3 to 5 items a day. You can always add to the list later if you finish those items, but keep it small, otherwise it'll be overwhelming. Okay, so that'll be one way you can manage your time. Another thing you could do is just have a project or a one-day goal. So with that system, you just wake up and you say, okay, what is my emphasis for the day? Okay, my emphasis could be decluttering the storage closet, okay? So then your whole day, whenever you have, leftover time, you would spend going to declutter that storage closet. If you wanted to work on a project for this 3 weeks, you could have a project that you're going to try and work on for the 3 weeks and make huge headway. Okay, that plan will work for you if you're the type of person who can kind of get yourself to work on that during the day without a to-do list or without a schedule. So it might also work for you if you're the type of person that gets overwhelmed by to-do lists or overwhelmed by schedules. So you might think about that. One advantage to that is if you're just kind of focusing on one goal, it can be easier to complete the goal because you aren't thinking of a million things at once. But it won't work for everybody, because if you have the type of lifestyle where you really have to do a whole bunch of different things and you can't just work on one goal for the day, it won't work so well. But like say, even if you're a stay-at-home mom, I think you could use this system, because a lot of your day is going to be devoted to your kids and you might not have that much time, but you could still keep going back whenever you had little bits of time to work on that goal. Okay, so that's another one. The third overall plan idea is to have a loose schedule. Okay, that is what I'm doing with my Focus Time app. I did a blog post just today on the Focus Time app and how I use that to make a loose schedule. Okay, the fourth one is going to be a highly structured schedule, so I'll talk about both of those at once. With a highly structured schedule, you'll say, okay, 9 o'clock, I'm going to have breakfast. 10 o'clock, I'm going to go to the dentist. 11 o'clock, I'm going to come home and clean my closet. So see what I mean? You give specific times to it, and you can even plan your schedule the day before. Okay, that will work for people who have control of their time, okay? So people who aren't constantly interrupted, also for people who really like highly detailed schedules, but it won't work for anybody who doesn't have control of their time. So like say you're a homeschool mom with 6 kids, and you wake up and you make a detailed plan. How likely are you going to be able to stick to that, right? The kids are going to come, they're going to interrupt you. You're going to have to do different things for the kids. So it'd be kind of hard to have a detailed schedule. If you try to follow them, you might end up just getting frustrated with your kids. So if you're in a situation like that, it'd be better to have a loose schedule. Or like for me, I could wake up anywhere from 4 a.m., maybe even 3:30 a.m. to 8 a.m., depending on the day. So because I wake up at different times, I don't want to commit myself to having a schedule starting at a certain time. So with my loose schedule, the one I do based on the app that I wrote in the blog post today, maybe I'll write links to these little blog posts in the comments section underneath these videos so you can find them. Anyway, that just seems to work really great for me, because each morning I can kind of organize my schedule in blocks of time. So maybe I can spend 1 hour writing. I'm going to spend 2 hours on my helpful goals, which I talked about in the Trello post. So anyway, it's kind of a loose schedule. The advantage of that for me is, first of all, I do lose to-do lists, so I don't have to worry about losing my to-do list. I'm not very good at detailed schedules. I guess another advantage is it doesn't make me feel quite so bad about myself when I don't get everything done. Like if I see a long list and I never complete it, I always put more on than I think I can do. It gets a little depressing. So I kind of avoid that. Not only that, If I do it with that app, it shows me that, you know what, Barb, you only have so much time in the day. You can't really plan as much as you think you can, because that's one of my problems. I plan too much. I think I can get everything done, and then of course I can't get it done. So anyway, I hear my husband coming in. He was out mowing the lawn. Hi. Oh, he's going to go around back. Anyway, so that's your overall plan, okay? You're either going to have a list, a project, or a one-day goal, kind of a focus, a loose schedule, or a highly structured schedule. So those 4 different options. Okay, the next thing you need is a daily plan. So we have a system, collect your to-dos. You need the overall plan. We just talked about that, and then a daily plan. And so that would be each day, you've already kind of come up with what your system's going to be. So each day, make a plan based specifically on that day and what's going to happen. So look at your day. If you have a whole bunch of out-of-the-house appointments and work to do, you're not going to be able to spend as much time working on your other goals, okay? One of the goals with this procrastination project is to try and get those things done that you have procrastinated forever, right? Because we always get the urgent things done, at least usually, and we sometimes get the routine things done, but a lot of times we have all these goals, things that are really important that we want to do that we don't get done. So hopefully this procrastination project will help you with those. So this week, our goal is just get those systems ready, okay? You'll still read the assignments in the book, the Renewing the Mind projects. That's what we'll be using to renew our minds, but we won't actually start renewing our mind until next week. Now, if you get all on the ball and you get everything ready, go ahead and start as soon as you can. I mean, start today if you're ready to start. But I'll wait to start talking about the renewing of the mind next week. And then the first week, we're just going to be talking about these practical systems. Okay, we're going to use the renewing of the mind because the problem is we can come up with all the systems we want, but we can't make ourselves do them all the time. I mean, if you're one of those highly motivated, get things done, on the ball people, you might be able to get yourself to do things. And if so, you're probably not going to be taking this class. But a lot of us aren't those type of people. I am not a type A person, and I'm not a person who easily gets things done. So the only way I can do it is to go to God for help. And any advances I've made in overcoming procrastination have been through going to God again and again, taking out those lies that are making me procrastinate, putting on the truth will set me free. The systems help. So it's 2 different things, just like with weight loss. It's boundaries, renewing the mind, and time management the same way. You got a plan, and you renew your mind when you can't follow it. So anyway, excited about the class, and I'll be talking to you guys on our Facebook group during this, the next 4 weeks. So we'll look forward to growing together in this area. Hope you guys have a great day. I have to figure out how to turn this off. Okay, we'll talk to you guys later.